Teebs and KidPhoenix podcast is now partnered with Dubby Energy. Dubby is an energy drink powder that is different from the energy providers of the past, using all natural energy from ripe coffee cherries to provide natural energy with no sugar, no calories, no artificial coloring, and no maltodextrin. Each serving of Dubby contains about 2 cups of coffee worth of caffeine, but since Dubby's formula is sugar-free, you get energy and focus without those anxious, jittery, or wired feelings. Just mix 1 rounded scoop with 8 ounces of water and you're good to go. Unlike energy in a can, you have the ability to control how much goes in. Want to take it a little easier? Drop in a little less powder. You're in control. Listeners to our podcast can receive 10% off their order by using promo code Teebs at checkout. Try any one of Dubby's 15 unique flavors, including cherry blossom or Japanese soda today, and experience the difference.
Oh, I feel for my brother. Feel for my brother. The street life used to be on. Straight up hustling till the break of dawn. Taught me how to do wrong right. Everything inside.
Back in the studio once again. That's kind of the only bar I have right now for that. I kind of want to go with it from here on out. It's the Teebs and KidPhoenix versus podcast. Teebs and I are here as always as part of our coming back after our OSHA mandated hiatus. It's been good. Had a chance to do some readings on some New York Comic-Con stuff over the weekend. I didn't go because I am at that age where I can only do 1 show a year. I can't do 2 shows in 1 year anymore. Don't do that. I know you're doing San Diego Con and LA and all the horrorgasm stuff, which, by the way, how's the show this past weekend? Teebs had another show.
The show was good. The vampires train just keeps rolling, so we're going to keep it going.
And congrats to everybody involved for meeting the goal on the Kickstarter. So look for that.
Right. We got funded. So thanks to everyone who donated, and watch out for the book. Should be coming out at the end of November.
Book coming out at the end of November. Steve, do people still have chances to get their orders in, or is it just like, hey, you contributed to the Kickstarter, so you're the only ones that are getting it?
I'm not sure exactly. I did set it up for late pledges, so you might be able to get in there and still get something, but the book will be available for sale soon enough. So
pledges. You sound like a fraternity that's just coming off of like Rush Week. Just like, we didn't get enough guys, so we're going to keep this train rolling a little bit longer.
This book kicked my ass like I was a pledge during Rush Week. I'll tell you that.
Having been a pledge and a fully fledged fraternity member during Pledge Week, I can just tell you that it is rough, so I sympathize on that level.
I knew you would.
But let me just kick things off real quick before we jump right back into the October Halloween-y type content. Some of the news out of New York Comic-Con are very, very interesting. 2 franchises that I'm invested in. First of all, the Mortal Kombat movie, Mortal Kombat 2.
Yes, okay, great. Sure.
With Carl Urban as Johnny Cage. Looks really good, looks really strong. I watched the panel on YouTube.
I'm not excited for this, so I'm happy for you. And,
did you not see the HBO remix of Mortal Kombat?
Why would I watch a remix of a movie that I didn't like in the first place?
Because of the simple fact that when that movie dropped, it was during COVID, so what the hell else were you going to do?
Literally anything else. I was making comics during COVID, okay? That's what I was doing.
He was making comics during COVID. But I watched it. I thought it was very enjoyable. It was one of those things where it's just like, I see the vision and I didn't have to pay money for it. So I'm just like, all right, we'll see how this rocks. And apparently it was really well received by the fans. So they decided to do a sequel. And that's coming out next year. And they also have Mortal Kombat 3 planned. It's already in the tank. It's already in the bag. They're doing it.
I will watch Mortal Kombat 3 if they go full on apocalypse scenario like they did in the game Mortal Kombat 3.
So you want to see overworld or underworld merge dimensions with the Earth. You want total.
That's what I want to see.
You want total annihilation.
That's
I
what
get
I'm
it.
looking for. Yeah.
Any particular characters from Mortal Kombat 3 you're interested in? Maybe a little striker action, or is that too real as an African American?
I wouldn't mind seeing Cabal. I wouldn't mind seeing some of the cyborgs.
We got to get Baraka at some point, though, right?
Baraka's not. Why is not Baraka? Why is Baraka not a day one dude?
Look, man, I don't know what to tell you.
Who else? Like, seriously, are you? Never mind.
Never mind. We'll just keep it rolling. But I'm looking forward to that. The biggest news probably coming out of New York Comic Con is the fact that Kristen Ritter's Jessica Jones will be returning for Daredevil Born Again Season 2. So there's rumors that Charlie Cox, aka Matt Murdock, is getting the entire Defenders band back together. I'm excited about that, especially if, they get Luke Coulter to come back and Finn Jones, who, can I just say something real quick? I'm going to say something real quick to camera one right here, okay? All you Iron Fist haters out there, I'm sick of your shit, okay? I actually enjoyed Marvel's Iron Fist on Netflix, and I have made it very clear that I didn't mind that show as much as the rest of you, okay? So I'm just going to get that off my chest real quick. Matt Murdock is getting all the Defenders back together to battle Wilson Fisk and his group of anti-vigilante task force members. I'm all for it. Plus, I would love to see what the hell Matt Lillard is going to do in this series. They cast him as quote-unquote Kingpin's villain, whatever the hell that was going to be.
So I'm behind your head for the people that are only listening to the podcast.
Yes.
Behind you is your collection of caps. And
yes.
I'm looking to see if you have a set of mouse ears back there.
No,
that's how big you're in the bag for Big Disney.
I think
that's how far you're in the bag for Big Disney.
I think I left the mouse ears at your house, I think. As just like so yeah.
How the hell are you gonna let Disney get away with selling you nostalgia from a show from only 10 years ago? How are you gonna let them get away with that? How is that okay?
Everybody else Disney is getting away with it for everybody else. So why can't I be happy? They're doing nostalgic shit for me. Look, why can't I be happy?
Disney, stop selling me the same shit I just had, only you just polished it up and wiped it off. Like, no more of this. I need new shit, okay?
All right, okay.
Don't give me the X-Men show from the 90s. Don't give me that. Don't give me Spider-Man that's actually Sony, but it was Disney's idea. Don't give me every Spider-Man in the thing. Okay, Wonder Man, I'm a little more excited for than
Wonder Man,
Daredevil.
There was the trailer for Wonder Man. I don't know. I didn't even feel like you watched it just because it's Marvel, it's Disney, and you have Marvel fatigue.
I do have Marvel fatigue, and I have superhero fatigue in general.
So I guess now, since you just got really angry about nostalgia, I guess now is not quite the time to point out that there will be a season 2 of X-Men 97.
I heard that there will be a season 2 of X-Men 97. Apocalypse is supposed to be a big part of it, which is okay. The big problem I have with all of the Marvel movies now is that they rush too fast to get to there should have been no mention of Galactus in this Fantastic Four movie. Galactus should have been like 3 movies down the pipe. Okay,
I'm trying to steer you back in off the anger train here. I'm trying to. Jesus Christ.
What they announced that that Marvel's X-Men movies are going to start in 28, right? That's what they said.
That's what I'm hearing. I'm reading.
I guarantee you they're going to try to jump into Apocalypse so fast, and I'm begging you, don't.
Please don't. For
if
us.
You do that,
it for
I'm
us.
Out. X-Men is the last thing I actually have any feelings for, and if Disney decides that they're going to F that up by trying to move everything too fast, I'm just done with this.
First Disney X-Men movie, Phoenix Saga Part 1. Here it comes.
Or Phoenix Saga is going to be Jean Grey is going to be all phoenixed up immediately. Nobody wants that.
You already know what X-Men story arc I want them to do, but they'll never do it, even though they have all the CGI in the world to make it happen.
What story arc?
I want
Do not
I'm not going to say Days of Future Past just so I can
do
feed my
not
Bishop
say
agenda.
Extinction Agenda. Do not say anything involving Bishop.
No,
I will reach through the screen and smack you.
I was going to say Asteroid M.
You can't. You need about 20 years of Magneto to get to Asteroid M.
Bro, we just got 15 years of Iron Man. I think they can pull that off.
Yeah, just wait until Disney starts selling you nostalgia of movies, of its own movies. It's going to start selling you nostalgia of
The reboot of
movies
Iron
from
Man.
Phase 1, and the Ouroboros of pop culture is just going to start eating itself a little bit more.
Hold on a second. Isn't that essentially what Doomsday is? They're reselling the nostalgia of the Phase 1 with RDJ and the Russos.
Dude, I don't know what the hell Doomsday is.
Nobody
they have
does.
not introduced Doctor Doom. How are you gonna have? How is he gonna be the biggest villain in your fucking movie? And he's not even around yet. Like,
all right, let's move
we
on
gotta go.
because it's
Speaking of-
October.
okay.
It's October, and we need to focus on Halloween. But before we get into the actual subject matter of today's podcast, Teebs, should we do the annual PSA for white people for this Halloween season? I feel like we should do it right now.
Go right ahead. No, we have one more episode. We'll do it next episode. We'll do the PSA for white folks. We'll do the addendum to the Halloween candy.
I hear what you're saying, but I feel like this was probably the week where people start thinking about their costumes. So I feel like we should do this now.
No, we want people to fully invest in these costumes and then tell them no.
Jesus.
We want them to to actually pay money,
and then feel bad about themselves later that they spent that money.
But if it's gonna make you feel better, you can go ahead right now. Go ahead.
All right. Okay. PSA annual Teebs and KidPhoenix PSA for Halloween costumes, specifically for white people, because I'm sorry, you're some of the larger group of offenders. Listen, there are plenty of mayonnaise-based characters that you can draw off of and have a very good Halloween. Okay? Just go to the Hellman section of the Halloween costumes and just pick something out. Leave every and if you're gonna do something,
belabor this some more, why don't you?
Don't mess it up, okay? Just don't, all right? If you have to call somebody, if you have to call a black friend and you have to say, is this costume that I'm doing, is this racist?
It's racist. It is racist.
If you have to ask, it's probably racist.
Now, let me try to head off some people at the pass here.
Please
Let me just try to get some... Okay.
Please do.
Okay. I'm a white guy. Is it okay for me to cosplay an anime character?
Okay, see, that's tricky, right? Because with anime, I feel like it's different because there's not a whole lot of like dark skin anime characters that you can draw from. A lot of the anime characters, I can be corrected, are more like lighter skin toned. Like there might be like a few of them out there. Like most of One Piece is pale skinned. A lot of the Demon Slayer is like pale skinned or like neon colored. So I don't think that would be a problem.
I would say it's fine because those characters are not drawn or meant to actually be Japanese.
Yeah,
however,
that's the other
there
thing.
is one exception. You cannot dress up as Piccolo.
Cannot dress up as Piccolo. That is not
unacceptable.
100% unacceptable.
Piccolo is off the table. Mr. Popo is off the table.
Mr. Popo is off the table.
Can't do it.
Get all your Vegeta gear in. It's fine. You can do all the
question.
Vegeta, all the Trunks, all that you want.
Next question.
You want to rock Gotenks? Go right ahead.
I'm a black guy.
Okay.
Is it okay for me to cosplay a white character?
Are you putting shit on your face?
No.
Then you're fine. I think where the line is drawn is if you start putting shit on your face, absolutely not. And I would also like to point out, this doesn't have to do with just like face painting or anything like that. Don't do blackface. Don't do afros. Don't do dreads. Don't do none of that.
But, okay, so here's the thing.
We're still going with this.
I'm a black guy.
Okay.
But I'm going out as the Joker. So, like, I kind of have to put something on my face. Is that okay? That's fine, though, right? I mean, that's fine.
So, I'm We can be corrected, but I feel like that's yes, because
Yeah.
the Joker's face is like melted anyway.
He's the character is wearing, or the character has a face that is unnaturally white. So I
Right.
think that's fine.
I think you're fine. If you want to do Jack Nicholson's Joker from the museum scene, perfectly acceptable. As a matter of fact, I will give you mad props if you do that, especially if you have the gang of dudes with you, with one guy holding the oversized boombox.
Okay. So if you're okay, so I'm a white guy and I want to go out as Blade.
Just do Blade. Just
Is that
put just do the fangs, do the suit,
okay?
the sword, all like that.
No
Don't paint
blackface.
don't paint your fucking
Here's the
face.
thing. I would say, you know what, guy? There's a ton of other white vampires to choose from. Why you gotta take our guy? Just pick one of the myriad millions of other white vampires you got a choice from. We got one guy we can be. Just like fucking leave it alone, all right?
I wonder if it has something to do with the fact that like nobody wants to dress up as Jared Leto for under any circumstances. I feel like that's
That's
part
not
of
true
it.
because I was gonna dress up like the Jared Leto Joker. So
You would do that dumb shit. You would dress up as the worst Joker in the history of film and television.
is he the worst?
Yes.
He's pretty bad.
He's pretty bad. All right. Keeping this Halloween train moving. Teebs had an interesting
Well, actually,
social commentary here.
there's a couple of different things revolving around horror movies that Kid Phoenix and I would like to talk about today.
Let's get in there.
We just finished watching Alien Earth.
Yes.
And one of the key, and this is the problem. See, I have everything about the show is okay, except that a lot of the key plot points were centered on and were based on a trope that I see happening a lot in not poorly written, but kind of like, and I don't want to say poorly written. I don't want to say lazy. I don't want to say, but because who the fuck am I? I'm just some guy with a microphone. But like, okay, there's a trope that I personally do not enjoy because I personally feel like it's overused.
But you have an opinion, and based on the First Amendment to the Constitution, you are allotted your opinions and free speech. So
For the
right
time
ahead.
being, yeah, for the time being. So
Jesus. Wow.
I'm going to call it dumb kids are dumb is the trope that like there's a movie and like you don't go in the basement or open the door, and then a dumb kid comes along and opens the door and like unleashes the thing. It's because, hey, I'm writing this story and like I got to get somebody to do the thing, otherwise there's not going to be a movie. So I'll just get a dumb kid to do it, and they'll do something dumb.
You need somebody to be like that catalyst to catastrophe, and usually it is in horror movies. It usually is stupid kids.
Now, part of the legacy, I mean, listen, I understand.
By the way, the Teebs and KidPhoenix podcast does understand that there are intelligent children that won't fall into this trope.
I'm getting into that.
Okay.
I'm going to cover that.
Okay.
Jesus.
All right. Just making sure we're going to get there at some point. We don't hate all children.
I'll give some examples of smart children in horror movies, okay?
That list is very short.
But yeah, it's something that I feel like a lot of writers and people that make this stuff lean on, or the kid is weird, or there's something about the kid, like leave the kids alone. Like the kids know better than most of the adults.
Hey Hollywood. The kids are all right. Stop messing with them. Nothing.
No kid that I've ever met in my life is going to say, here's a box that is very clearly got some kind of evil spirit inside. I'm just going to go ahead and play with that. No, kids do not interact with most kids that I know. When something new comes into the equation of their life, they regard it with a lot of suspicion and hesitancy. They're not like jumping right into the thing. Like, no kid that I have ever met or that I have ever talked to or spent any significant amount of time around is going to talk to a clown in the sewer. That
Not
is
one.
not happening.
Not one.
That is never happening.
No.
That is just not gonna happen.
No.
My nephew's not gonna do it.
Yeah, our nephew is not gonna sit there and open up the Necronomicon under any circumstances. He's just not.
He's not gonna talk to a clown in a sewer drain. That's just not gonna happen. Not happening. So, and if
But
okay,
that is
so-
going to be in like the first episode of Welcome to Derry, like I'm sure.
but again, I think this is just something that I've seen a lot happening, and I just want to, again, Hereditary, but it makes sense in Hereditary, but that's neither here nor there. Like Talk to Me, which
Yeah.
which was good, but still a lot of dumb kids being dumb. Like, oh hey, here's this weird ass hand that you can anyway.
Can I
I don't want
ask
to
a
give away the
question?
movie. Yeah.
Can I ask a question? You spoke about laziness or something to
No, I
that
took that
effect.
back. I took that back. I said that I feel the
Okay.
trope is overused.
Is it overused because it's easy? It's tried and true, so like let's not reinvent the wheel, that kind of thing.
It's overused because the kid solves two questions usually. You need somebody that is dumb enough to let the demon loose, and also somebody that the hero is going to care about enough to go fight the demon for.
Right.
And if you can kill two birds with one stone, you can do that with a kid.
Why the hell not?
But
So examples from Alien Earth that I can think of like right away. So you have Isaac and not to spoil too much, but you have what Isaac had. You have what happened to Isaac. You have what happened to Anoush with his parents. And at least Anoush, like I could kind of feel for a little bit because he's trying to save his parents. So there was
still,
that.
Anoush, like, just talk to one dude. Just be like, yo, this dude keeps talking to me.
This dude is
in my head, like, and I don't like it.
This dude from Wayland Yutani's in my head. He's telling me to do like bad things, let these weird creatures out. Maybe I shouldn't do that, but he's got my folks. So what the hell am I supposed to do? Is there some kind of like patience you have to have with the children in this situation where you're just like, all right, I get it because like they're kids and they don't know any better. Does like that ever creep into your mind? Because like for me, it kind of does sometimes where it's just like, I have to really, really put this into context. Just like, all right, they only know so much. They're easily fooled. Some of them, they're easily manipulated.
Like I said, most kids that I know are skeptical and are like wary of new things, new people, new anything coming into their life. So it's like that's my own lived experience is telling me that this is not an accurate representation of kids. On the same card as dumb kids are dumb is another one that I'm sick of is the kid sees something that nobody else can see.
The Sixth Sense trope.
The monster's in the kid's room and the parents come in and there's like, what monster? There's no monster. Like, yes, we get it. We've all been kids. We've all had fears and overactive imaginations and things like that. But like, honestly, like it's been done. Like, I don't like, I want the movie where the parents are like, the kid is like, hey, there's something in the closet. And the parents are like, all right, we're out of here immediately. we're gone.
Can you imagine if that actually like if, you know, Craig T. Nelson just said, you know what? Fuck this house. I'm out. Like, no, I'm not. After that first night, it was just like, nah, I'm good. We're good. We're rolling. That's fine.
Well, it's funny that you should mention Poltergeist because that factors heavily into the next thought I had about horror movies. And this comes from a YouTube video essay that I was watching featuring Dr. Landon Palmer's idea about white flight and how the slasher movie and a lot of 80s horror movies are a direct response to white flight. For those of you that don't understand or don't know what white flight is,
Webster's Dictionary
defines white flight as that period after World War II when white families left the cities en masse because they were dangerous and out of control.
Allegedly.
They were quote unquote dangerous and out of control.
Yeah.
And they fled to the suburbs for safety and to, you know, have that life of that whatever life.
The nuclear
So what?
family in the suburban.
Whatever. So how the slasher movie is a direct response to that is you took your families and you moved them out of the inner city so that they can be away from the drugs and the sex and all these bad influences and all
And
this
the
danger. But guess
violence.
what? Yeah, guess what? You go to the suburbs and there's more stuff going on there. There's still the sex, there's still the drugs, and oh look, they're still not safe.
There's
So it
worse
doesn't
things,
matter.
in fact.
Exactly. And Poltergeist is like the to the nth degree, like the suburbs, not only are you not safe in the suburbs, but like the suburbs are way more effed up than just being in the city. Just be in the city, you know?
Just having the supernatural element of Poltergeist just adds a whole new thread in this whole. Just hold on, let me go back. The supernatural stuff was just like an added patch on the quilt of like how suburban life actually ended up being worse in some of these horror movies. You have movies like Poltergeist, you have movies like The Omen, you have, I guess you could say, The Exorcist. Just like all that super.
Exorcist is kind of the first one where it's like, oh, hey, you think that your money and your privilege is going to isolate you from all the bad stuff in the world? Nah,
No,
here comes the
no.
devil.
Here
Devil's
comes
coming right for you.
devil's coming right for you. Right? The devil is coming to
He's coming
collect.
right. What are you going to do? It's the devil. What are you going to do? And kind of the big part of that movie is like she does everything that she can. She tries to do everything that medical science, all of her money turns out is not going to help her with this problem, and she has to rely on something that she's not comfortable relying on.
You
That's kind of
also. And then slasher movies like Halloween and Friday and Nightmare on Elm Street were just kind of like the next step, so to speak. Where it's just like instead of like you have the idea of like serial killers, which I don't want to say is a primarily inner city thing, but kind of mostly is. And then that element found its way to the suburbs. So some
I'm not
very
sure
real
what
inner city
movies.
shit.
So serial killers are kind of creatures of the city. I'm not
Right.
sure what.
But to
Okay,
your
so if you're talking
point,
about
the white flight was an effort to get away from some of those things, and just like serial killers, for example, just found their way to the suburbs.
so you're talking about like Nightmare on Elm Street or
I'm more talking about Halloween, I guess, because you said before that Michael Myers is like a direct repudiation on white flight because he just looks like he looks like a yeoman working out there in his jumpsuit.
well, actually, if you think about the design of Michael Myers, his kind of workman suit kind of like
He's a
is
yeoman.
reminiscent. Yeah, it's more reminiscent of kind of like a blue collar working guy that you
Yeah.
would see in the inner city rather than you would see in the suburbs.
I guess Nightmare on Elm Street is different because in the creation Freddy Krueger, I guess that I mean it was back in like the 1700s or whatever. So I don't know if that was like really a suburb where
What? What?
listen, I'm rough on my Nightmare on Elm Street
Bro,
history,
okay,
okay?
fine. We okay. After this episode, we're gonna sit you down with the episode of Freddy's Nightmares that tells you the story of Freddy.
All right,
Okay.
okay, fine. But
It
back when Freddy was burned alive, I'll just say
yes,
that
in the 1950s.
in the 19 okay. Wow, I thought okay,
Yes.
I'm way off. Was was he burned in like a suburban kind of atmosphere?
Yeah, he was burned to death.
Again,
He was burned
I
in
haven't
yeah,
watched
yeah,
the
sorry,
series in a
sorry.
while, so
He was
I
burned
forget
in
the
this
setting.
he was burned in the same town that Nightmare on Elm Street is set in. Nancy's mom has the glove in the furnace of their house for
Right.
some reason.
For some
For
reason.
for reasons.
For reasons unknown. So all right, so that was actually born and bred in suburban culture then.
Yeah, so and it's more so like, hey, you think moving to the suburbs will protect these kids? Nuh-uh. We're still going to get them in their dreams. Nothing you can do. You can't protect. Basically, the bottom line is, hey, you can't protect them.
And then Friday the 13th, just like you can't even send your kids on vacation.
Yeah, Friday the 13th is different And I think Friday the 13th is doing two things. As Friday the 13th is a reversal of Psycho. It's like let's take Psycho and just like reverse it. And also, camp movies were big in the late 70s.
Yeah, they were.
For some reason, there were a lot of camp movies, and like, but it also has to do with the idea of
you ride a little hard, a little too hard for Sleepaway Camp, if we're being honest.
Sleepaway Camp is fine, but Sleepaway Camp is different and doing different stuff than Friday the 13th.
Yeah, there's
Because,
way more
again, in
nudity
Friday
in
the 13th
Sleepaway Camp.
In Friday the 13th, there's no kid. I mean, there's the counselors, but there's no actual kids that die.
Right.
Sleepaway Camp, kids are dying left and right.
Yeah, Sleepaway Camp. There's no filter whatsoever. Like any age can get it.
There's a situation with a curling iron that I'd rather not get into right now.
Yeah, just look that up on YouTube, folks, or don't.
But Friday the 13th is more about these places that we think are quote unquote safe, but not actually safe. So I guess it kind of like ties in, not as directly, but like more along the ideas of like, hey, here's this place that you think is safe, and you think it's safe for your kids to go there, but it's not. So,
Yeah, but then you also get movies like Leprechaun in the Hood, and then you're just like, well, fucking nowhere's safe.
actually, the hood is the safest place to be because when Jason goes to Manhattan, the worst thing that happens to anyone that lives in Manhattan is their like radio gets smashed. That's
the
it.
radio gets
That's
kicked
the worst
over.
thing that happens.
And that's the thing. That's why you listen. I know
When Leprechaun's in the hood, like nothing happens to anyone in the hood. They're fine.
Right. Leprechaun in the Hood, Jason Takes Manhattan, they're like very misleading stories because Jason's only in Manhattan for maybe like the third act, which is like, what, 20 minutes? And then Leprechaun in the Hood, I think he's only in the hood for maybe like a half hour.
And so here's the other thing.
Here's the other thing.
The reason why it's hard to horror movies in an urban environment is because there's so much that is already happening that like you couldn't make up a story that's scarier than what's actually
Right.
Hey, black people, here's what's going to happen to you guys. A bunch of people are going to dress up in hoods and come and like try to hang you and murder. Oh wait, that's an actual thing that happened.
Jesus
Okay.
Christ.
Okay, well, what if a bunch of people just decide to burn up your shit and like, wait, that happened too?
That happened too.
Well, what if people just like dropped a bomb on a city block? Oh, that happened.
We don't know how many other cities that happened in, but that definitely happened in the city that we grew up in.
By the way,
here it comes.
By the way, Philly people. If there's ever any debate as to which city was the roughest, the correct answer is Philadelphia. Do you know why the correct answer is Philadelphia? There's no other city where the cops actually dropped a bomb on a city block. That's bad.
That's a thing that happened.
That's a rough city.
That's a thing that happened.
That's rough. Oh, you thought Bed-Stuy was rough? Did they ever drop a bomb on Stuyvesant Avenue? Did that happen?
Did they ever drop a bomb on Brooklyn? No, they did not.
Was there ever heavy ordnance deployed on Flatbush? No, that never happened.
Listen, everybody says, Teebs makes an interesting point. Compton is always touted as like the roughest neighborhood, the roughest gang epicenter, like in the United States. A bomb was never dropped on Compton. Okay,
they never dropped a bomb on Compton.
A bomb was dropped on Osage Avenue,
North and Osage Avenue, yeah.
Literally 10 minutes from where we grew up,
and literally 4 blocks from my grandmother's house. So.
Yeah, there's a reason why Philadelphians act the way we do sometimes. We're literally waiting for the bomb to drop on us, so we're always prepared.
So yeah.
So can we move into this theory? Can we move this theory to the 90s? So between
the 90s, no,
hold
you
on,
can't.
Let me cook real quick. Because between the suburban horror movie that you're laying out here and dumb kids doing dumb things, like is it maybe accurate to say that like Scream was like the perfect marriage between the two?
Scream is just uniquely a commentary on these horror movies. That's
Okay.
what it is. That's all that's what its conversation is about and with, and that's it.
Okay, so there's no underlying socioeconomic message they're trying to Wes is
No,
not trying to do that.
I don't think so. The only thing that's different that I've found that I think is different about the movies of the 90s is all the serial killer movies that you start to get in the 90s. And I don't know if I've ever told you my theory about why gangster rap kind of inspired a lot of the serial killer movies
All
we
right.
got in the 90s.
All right, so Teebs, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna back away. I'm just gonna leave the kitchen real quick. I'm gonna give you the entire stove with the
Okay.
oven.
All right.
Just go ahead and cook. Just make everything.
The theory is like this. So in the late 80s, you start hearing gangster rap, and this is kind of like the first time suburban whites and other people that hadn't been exposed to what's going on in the inner city are like hearing like, wait, this is really bad. This is drive-bys and hoes and gangsters. This is terrible, but also fascinating and alluring. And I had been told that these gangster people were the bad guys and no good. And I'd been told one thing about them, but now I'm finding out that it's totally different and that they're people and they're just dealing with things. So I'm relating to them in a whole different way. So I'm wondering if there's another group of people that I thought were just bad guys and no good. I'm wondering if there's a similar kind of depth that we can extract from that. So Silence of the Lambs, Along Came a Spider, Copycat. You get all these serial killer movies, Seven,
7.
that are like trying to not make you sympathize with the slasher, but like at least giving the slasher an opportunity to tell his side of the story.
Because we have to hear what the killer side of the story is on this one.
Because remember, there is a Hannibal Lecter movie in the East, but Hannibal Lecter didn't become popular as a character really in the film until the 90s. And
I feel like Hannibal Lecter as a character didn't really get really popular until I want to say the Hannibal movie itself, when the silent sequel hit.
no, I mean, no. I think Hannibal Lecter in Silence of the Lambs is,
I always felt he was more popular after Hannibal. Maybe that's me. And then
I
there was
think
just like another resurgence after like Red Dragon.
I think Silence of the Lambs is the apex, and then there's diminishing returns at every point thereafter again.
Just being
Just
reminded of the character.
So just some thoughts on horror from this guy, the resident horror aficionado and expert here on the podcast.
So, what's that to say about like what horror movies are doing now as far as like storytelling and writing, especially with like some of the
They're
stuff that like
all story,
A24 are
all the
putting
movies
out?
today are just,
Oh, here's something. Since we're going down this path, I'm just gonna go era by era. M Night, some of his stuff.
listen, we're not, I can't, I haven't done really the thinking to be able to do it that way.
All
You
right.
mentioned movies from today and what they're doing, and it seems kind of obvious to anybody that's paying attention
Mm.
that most of the horror movies today are just allegories for personal traumas. So,
And then you have Saw for all the torture porn fans.
well, torture porn I think gets popular in the late 90s, and I haven't really thought about it, but if I were to just try to spitball things,
Okay.
so in the 90s, we keep deconstructing horror films, we keep deconstructing and deconstructing everything. And torture porn is like the most visceral, like basest form of a horror movie that you can get to, is to just literally show people being tortured.
You're right.
Like, so we go through this process. We go through Steam, which breaks down, Scream breaks down the movies, and then Final Destination is like, oh, you guys just want to see cool kills, but you don't even really care about the killer. So here's the cool kills, and you don't need a killer. And then I think the first Saw is different. The first Saw I would not categorize as torture porn. The first Saw is
Yeah,
literally and legitimately, I think, a thriller.
I
I
would agree
think
with
the
that.
subsequent movies are just kind of there for visceral thrills, like the Hostel movies and
Right.
some of the other movies that got popular around that time. But
Eli
I
Roth
think
and that whole
right.
brand.
Right, but I think that they were just pushing as far as they could in a genre that had, like, lost the necessity, like, that had been stripped down so much that there wasn't really any place else to go, so I don't know. That's just my quick from the hip analysis.
And one last thing, again, you can fire this from the hip because again, we're talking about like suburban horror plot lines. Where does like Paranormal Activity fit in?
We need well, that's the thousands, and there is a conversation that Blair Witch and Paranormal Activity and a lot of the other found footage movies are having with technology and specifically cameras in our spaces as humans that I think that I haven't done enough thinking or research
You need more
on
time.
to
You need
talk
more
about
time.
right
That's
here.
fine.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah.
That'll be in the series 6 Halloween episode. We'll get in on the 2000s and later. But fascinating, riveting conversation. I do not say that sarcastically. Everybody that's listening, I swear I'm genuine in that. Teebs is the horror guy. I'm the action guy. So whenever Teebs gets a chance to throw out his horror benefice during the entire month of October, I like to share that with the people. I like to give the people what they want. So yeah, Teebs educating the masses as he usually does around this time of year. In the meantime, we do have other October Halloween themed episodes. Teebs kind of alluded to it. There will be there's going to be a Halloween candy addendum episode coming. We'll do that the week before Halloween. Halloween's on Friday. So we'll get you all set up so that when you go to the grocery stores on Thursday to get your stuff, you'll be all set and ready to go. There's some newer candies that are out there, so we're going to take care of that. We're going to make sure that everybody knows what's going on there.
Yes, absolutely.
In the meantime, like, follow, subscribe to the podcast. You can listen wherever you download and listen to podcasts. And we're also on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. For now, anyway, as long as social media is still a thing. But until next week, we are going to get out of here. Talk to everybody soon, and more Halloween type content on the way, so stay tuned.
It's 30 years, I feel